Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Rob's Networkers and Traffic Leads to Income VM Sunday Night Hangout. My name is Rob Gearing. I'm the admin and owner of Rob's Networkers and Traffic Leads to Income VM, which is a viral mailer that has the very effective 7 steps to success when it comes to building your list and building a marketing funnel. I'm also a team captain for Club Shop. That's a recent endeavor that I've kind of gotten back into. May talk a little bit about that tonight, but not too much. But some hats that I wear, some things that I do. My goal online is to teach people not only how to build a list, but give them thoughts and ideas about what's some of the good things to get involved in, maybe things to stay away from. But ultimately, having a system, having the pieces and parts that you put together, is what's going to earn you that coveted online income that we all seek. Okay, so let me introduce my panel tonight. From left to right, we have Nick and we have Carlos. So hello, gentlemen, and welcome, and thank you for being on our panel tonight. I'm going to move over to the, I'm going to go into screen share, and we're going to talk about our blog and our topic. I was debating screen share, but I'm thinking, why not? Why not use it? So I would like to give a shout out to my live audience who I'm seeing here. So if you are watching on Google, please check in, like Kevin did, Mary, and Rebecca, and it looks like Bert down there at the bottom there. So thank you. So if there's anybody else that can hear me and sees the area to put in your question or comment on Google+, please go ahead and check in now. You can start formulating your. You can start formulating your. Yeah, you're gonna want to mute your mic, Ken, please. Okay. So you're going to, we're going to see your questions and comments. So I just need everybody to identify yourself who's listening to me on Google+. If you're watching on YouTube, you do have the ability to actually move into the. I think I can mute your mic for you, Ken. Hang on, we're getting a lot of interference here. Okay, you're muted, Ken. So don't touch any buttons. All right. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna be listening to what you guys have to say or reacting to it in the Q&A. And again, on YouTube, you can move into the Google+ module as well, so you can interact with us. So we're going to keep an eye on that. So without further ado, I'm going to move into screen share. So here comes screen share. And share. And there we go. So I'm going to move over to the blog right now. Okay. All right, so trafficleads2income.com/blog is the blog. 500 credits for putting a comment on. And when you do that, please say, this is my username. I'm requesting my 500 credits. This is my Traffic Leads to Income VM username. Put that as part of your comment. And there's all kinds of promo codes and stuff that we always put inside the blog. We give you all your information, all you need to know. And ultimately, just like we have in the back office Traffic Leads to Income VM, once the broadcast is over, it's the replay can be watched from the blog, from Traffic Leads to Income VM back office, on the YouTube channel, and such. So really a crazy week last week, because we're in a new week right now. So we had a great Sunday night hangout last week where we talked about autoresponders, and you can actually we give a link where you can watch the recording on that one. But really what was exciting about last week was the Dan Moses interview. If you caught that, if you haven't, please check it out. It's on my blog. But Dan is a very accomplished launch manager, program owner, just an experienced online marketer. And it was a pleasure for me to ask him a few questions, and we went into all kinds of different directions. And it was very, very highly watched. We had 23, 25 people that were watching it live. We've had a lot of hits on the YouTube video. So continue to circulate it, continue to leverage it and use it in your marketing campaigns. And I learned a little bit about Zubies. I didn't write too much about it in the blog, but I understand I can implement Zubies into the viral mailer portion of Traffic Leads to Income VM, and I may just do that. I just haven't had a lot of time, but it's on my to-do list to really dive into on the viral mailer side of Traffic Leads to Income VM. On the marketing funnel side of Traffic Leads to Income VM, still the 7 steps to success. list building extravaganza, over on that side of Traffic Leads to Income VM, and a chance to get yourself 10,000 mailing credits and $10 in cash just by following these steps. But we'll get more into that in a little bit, as we still have concerns with people that are a little intimidated by the autoresponder. So when you're in step 2, if you have a question, send us a support ticket. Ask in the Skype group that we have in Traffic Leads to Income VM. Don't let the fear of technology stop you from getting your setup complete. And we are feverishly working on a internal autoresponder, but that's taking longer than we anticipated. So we may not see that till the end of summer. So we have to hang on and bide our time on that front. But certainly a good time to grab your autoresponder. Some different options that we offer with that, and kind of start getting an understanding. The other big news for me personally, and I'm going to spend a little time on this tonight, is the new addition in the downline builder of Traffic Leads to Income VM, which is called Club Shop. And the banner's not working, so I do have to fix that. But you may be thinking, oh, that's just another thing that gets thrown in. It's like just another one of these shopping programs and yada, yada, yada. But I didn't write too much in my blog. I'm going to be doing some additional blogging. We'll probably have a hangout coming down the road, especially for that. But that was my first online business back in 1999, and I learned a lot. But you have your trials and travails sometimes, especially when you're new. God, I wish that I would have stayed with it and be in the same slot that I started in back then. But it doesn't work that way. Had some issues, kind of faded away from it for a while. Came back in 2007, 2008. I'm still kind of hazy on what my return date was, but didn't really put too much effort into it either. But I met a great guy named Scott Cunningham, who's my upline coach, and through Scott, I've met another great mentor, another great leader, and it's something really to check out. You're going to get yourself, just by joining free, you get shopping rebates on online shopping that you're already doing, and it's really a solid business, 17-year business model, a lot of copiers, but it's always good to go back to the original, and something certainly that could be done just from a shopping standpoint or taken to a higher level. So more to come on that. Let me come back into the room here. So Ken, your microphone is not muted here, so that's causing me some interference here. Thank you, Ken. All right, appreciate that. Okay. All right, so let me get back to where I was on the screen share. All right, so we're talking about our topic tonight. Getting to the meat and potatoes here. It is the fact of how do you keep your downline? How do you keep your list active? And really, here's my take on it. I'm going to get right into the heart of things here. Starts with writing good ad copy, and that's from your heart. That's writing. That's you, not where do I go find the swipe? Where do I go find that's if you're a pure internet marketer that doesn't really understand what you're marketing. You just join, advertise just to make money, just to get some people to sign up for something. That's the people that are grabbing the swipe and sending. I'm all for look at the swipe, which is just another word for the owner's original email that they write about their program or offer. But can you take that, read it, and put it into your own words, put it into your own context? That's where great marketing starts. Something different than the norm, something different than the usual fare that people are used to, getting the company email just sent from not the owner but from somebody else. So writing your own original ad copy is critical, but use a blog too. So I'm not a big fan of sending big long emails. I would rather you investigate blogging, and we have some great blogging resources in our downline builder at Traffic Leads to Income VM. One of them is called Pure Leverage. You find that from Host and Profit, which is a GVO product, and within Host and Profit, which is what's in our downline builder in Traffic Leads to Income VM. From Host and Profit, you upgrade into Pure Leverage, kind of hopping from one program into another. I kind of consider it an upgrade in the GVO world, but it gives you what's called a authority blog. So now you can sit down and you can write and you can update and put different things in there. that's going on in your within your own marketing, what's happening with your teams, that you can keep your list updated on. So I think that's my first tip on how to keep your list active and engaged. A lot of people ask me, what's the difference between a WordPress blog that you get from Pure Leverage or a WordPress blog that you would see on your own hosted domain? Well, if you join Host and Profit, they give you hosting. There's actually instructions from GVO that teach you how to install your own custom WordPress WordPress blog, WordPress application, and that's an ideal situation where you have your own domain name. Maybe it's your name, like I have at robgearing.com, and you have a WordPress blog attached, and you're using that for your writings, because blogs get a lot of attention from search engines. So if it's an authority blog that's hosted by somebody else, that company's getting the leverage, pardon the pun, from the Google activity. But if you're doing it pure, which may take a little extra work, you're going to actually get credit from Google on your domain. So some of the different things about that. And some people just want to use a real easy one, like the Blogger application that you can get from Google itself for free. So blogging's not hard. It's just writing. What's nice is you're literally creating web pages, and they're all getting indexed out through the Google and Yahoo and different search engines that are out there. So that's my tip one: is short email from the heart, blog from the heart, and have your link to your blog within that little short email. That's going to certainly set you apart. But what are some other things that you can do? Offer incentives. One of the incentives that we love at Trafficleads2incomeVM, so I'm going to go ahead and log in now. One of the incentives that we love is giving credits to our downline. Do we know how to do that? Well, first of all, we need to upgrade, and that's real easy. See, I just passed a great upgrade offer there. Secondly, what we're going to do is, as soon as my mouse will cooperate here, we're going to go to referrals, and upgraded members are going to see a transfer credit box for each one of their downline. I'm pretty sure that's an upgraded feature. The free members listening out there can go to their back office and check it out. Maybe post a comment on the blog if I am correct. That'll be worth. I'll give 250 credits for anybody that for the first, say, 5 that give me a heads up about that. That can prove that to me. But I know for sure upgraded members can transfer credits, and it's just a matter of hitting transfer credits and putting in the number, hitting transfer. So that's really a cool vehicle right there. So in your email or within your blog article, you can say, I will give you 500 credits for replying back. If you're sending an email, for example, to your Traffic Leads to Income downline. How do I do that, you're saying? Well, again, upgraded members. Upgrade gives you more. So you go to send mail, and I can't send right now because I just sent, but there's a little tick box that says send to your downline only. And if you're upgraded, you can do that, and there's no charge for that. So you're not losing any credits, and it's only targeting it doesn't cost you anything, and it's only targeting your specific downline. So that's the downline mailer feature that we have. Within your own list, you could still say join Traffic Leads to Income VM, and again reply back. Once I verify you that you're in my downline, I will transfer you over X amount of credits. So using credits is a great way, is a great bribe, and we give you that feature. You can buy credits, you can earn credits through the viral mailer. You can, do a lot of things with credits here. So be creative. Use your tools. Another idea that I give on the blog is maybe you have an ebook you can give away. Maybe you have something else that's a digital prize, or something that maybe you have a free upgrade in another program that you've been sitting on. So you got to get people's attention. I will tell you that email is a tough vehicle to work with. So you have to kind of understand that many people will never see your thing, your email, no matter how great it is, because they're inundated and swamped. So you always have to be thinking, how can I make mine set apart? How can my subject line be a little bit different? How, what can I do to get the most out of it? To get the most out of it. And I think simplicity, strong subject line with simple body and a giveaway and an offer and incentive is going to go a long way. So again, I encourage reply backs. I encourage blog comments. Anything and everything that can get your reader to take action that you can track. That brings us back to tracking. There's different ways to track. I mean, there's traffic that tells us that this website, this certain website brought so many hits into my site, and maybe a certain amount of clicks and things like that. But I think a form of tracking is I sent to 100 and I asked for everybody to reply and I got 10. So I had a 1 out of 10, conversion rate. People that read it and reacted. So I'm always looking for reactions. I'm always looking for who's doing what. That's why I have the promo codes, and I'm always, when somebody cashes in a promo code, I know they're active, and then I go look at their account and I see, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm going to contact them and let them know that they left one of their lines blank in their profile. So as an owner, that's a way that I'm engaging my team. That's a way that I'm making people more active. By reaching out, by using data and information, and then reaching back out to them. Active and engaged. If you have an email address, or if you have a Facebook or a Skype that they've left in some way, shape, or form, you got your hands on it. So that's how you keep people active on your list and in your downline, by staying in touch with them. Because then that million emails that they get, they see Ken's name, or they see Rob or Nick or Carlos, they go, wow, that's one I am gonna read. That's part of the branding. So these topics that we talk about in given weeks kind of fit together. So that's what I've got. Now I'm gonna come back to my esteemed panel, if they're still with me here, and it looks like they are. And I'm going to stop the screen sharing. We're still broadcasting. Nice amount of viewers, so very good. So if you are viewing us from Google Plus right now, if you're on YouTube, come over to Google Plus and let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're in the building, so to speak, and start asking questions. Because our Dan Moses interview was so successful because simply we got a lot of questions. So comments are great, highs we appreciate, but let's get some good questions about what I just talked about and what you're going to hear from our panel, starting from left to right. We're going to start with Nick. So what do you have on this topic tonight, Nick?
Oops. There we go. Got to get my phone on, my mic unmuted there. I love everything that you were talking about as far as keeping your list interested and getting them to react to you in some way. And that's one of the things that I do a lot of. And one of the things is to remember that your first attempt at getting a reaction may not do anything, but to be persistent and go back and go back, and you'll be surprised how many people eventually do respond to you. So don't give up. If you send out an email and nothing happens, send out another one, and always try to put a hook in that will get them to respond to you in some way. Use something that will make them want to respond to you. And one of the things that I always do is offer help, that I'm here to help them in anything. They have a question, they need help setting something up, anything like that, then I'm here, and I always include my Skype and my Skype address so that they can get a hold of me through Skype, and I can sit down one-on-one and help people. And that's the thing I really love doing the most, is being on Skype and doing one-on-one with people, because the interaction there really helps you nail down what it is they need help with. So that's one of the things. Stay persistent with your attempt to get people to respond to you. At ClickTrack Profit, it's an easy thing to do, because you can go in and look at who's active, who's been in and active for that day, and then you can go in and actually talk to that person and say, oh, I just saw you were active. Awesome. Glad to see that you're consistent. Got a question. I noticed you watched a video. Anything like that. And eventually people will respond to you, and they'll finally come up with a question and come back to you. So I think persistence is really important there. I use blogs. I do blog quite regularly and frequently. I have my own blog under nicholasgrimshaw.com, where I talk about traffic exchanges and things like that. But the neat thing about a blog is you can always send somebody to an article you've written, it may be in a year ago, if somebody's looking for an answer to something. So a blog is also an easy way to help people out too, because you're creating a whole list of material in your blogs, and you can use your blog posts to create ebooks to send to your list, and that really helps. So you might have a subject that you worked on, and then you can put it all together in an ebook and send it out, and people love that sort of thing. I think that's everything. My really main point is be persistent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nick. So before I turn it over to Ken, I cleared the board of all the greetings, so I appreciate everybody's hellos, and we have a nice bunch of viewers. This is good. The number keeps kind of growing, so you can certainly continue to share this with people that you know could just come on and add to our viewership, and could lead to good things for you, because they're going to say, do you know about this stuff? And you explain, and you're going to have your referral links handy, and that's all great. So certainly, while you're viewing our audience, you certainly can. Our audience out there, certainly feel free to continue to spread the word and get some additional people in. So I saw Shirley, Mary Duff was here, Rebecca. I don't want to leave anybody out. Kevin, Hyacinth. I'm probably going to leave somebody out. Bert. Where's your questions now? I don't see a single question on the board, so I really would like to get some great questions, because you guys are all great marketers. You're great members of Traffic Leads to Income VM. So start peppering us with your questions. That's what really makes this fun. See the Dan Moses interview for a live example of how fun that got, with all those questions coming at us left and right. So there you go. We'll be plugging that video for quite a while. It was pretty spectacular. All right, over to you, Ken, as we wait. Hopefully come in.
Thank you, Rob. Yes, that was a great video with Dan Moses. I enjoyed that. And as for getting the questions in, I think this may be different for different people. I'm not sure, but over on the side would be to my left, facing my laptop. There is some tools. And the one right at the top is a little thing with lines in it. It's blue, and that's for you to you click on that, and it opens up the chat, which is on my right over on this side. So you can write questions in or comments down at the bottom of that, and Rob will see that, I know. Okay, now for the what are the kinds of things that will create loyalty and active participation in your downline? The most important thing is developing a relationship, establishing some communication. Nick mentioned Skype. I use Skype a lot. It's probably my best form as far as communication, not only with groups, but actually with individuals also. The quickest way to get a hold of me, Skype me at ken.wolf. That's WOLFF, and the number 1 after that, ken.wolf1. And I think it's important also to, brand yourself as somebody that, like Nick says, you're there to help people. If there's anything somebody is trying to do and they're struggling with it, if they get in touch with me, I may not know the answer, but I certainly have a lot of resources and people that have answers. And this group here with Traffic Leads to Income certainly is one of a lot of resources, and I am really happy to recommend and draw people to this as a resource. Uh, Now, for getting active participation, there's a lot of things that will draw people to a program. They have what's called the gamification now. A lot of programs have different games that come along while you're in traffic exchange. Uh, Maybe it's hangman or guess whether higher or lower, or different little things that you play the games and you get credits when you do that. So uh, rewarding people for their activities, giving credits for the things that they do. As a traffic owner, you can do that as an individual, as an affiliate marketer. Rob showed where you can transfer credits to your downline. I actually do that in a way. I have what is called a loyalty reward system. And like if you log in, just simply log in and click 25, 5, 10, 15 pages, log in every day, and uh, I will give you 10 credits the first day that you do that, 20 credits, kind of like 10 a day the Sweeva way, well, 10 a day any program way. You log in my downline, and I will reward you for your activity, like 10 a day up to, say, 100 credits a day just for logging in and being active. So that's one of the techniques that I use. And other than that, basically, it's getting to know people, developing a relationship, and making it fun to interact and be active. So that's kind of my intake on it. And back to you, Rob.
I appreciate that, Ken. So Billy Jones asks our first question of the evening. So what is this all about? That's interesting. What is this all? I have no idea, actually, Billy. I don't know what I'm doing here, seriously. So what's this all about? Traffic Leads to Income VM. Okay, I'm the owner of Traffic Leads to Income VM. Everybody here are members of Traffic Leads to Income VM. It's a viral mailer. I believe you have an account because I know you from a few years back. So if you go to trafficleads2incomeVM.com and you log in, or if you don't remember your password, there's a lost password function, or you can grab me on Skype and I can help you through it, rob.gearing, rob.geehring. But really, what we are is a place for people to advertise, and we teach people how to effectively advertise. And I know you just got into a new business, Billy, and we call this the funnel. So you don't advertise necessarily your business directly. You can. Some of them have pages that are more advertisable than others. But we also build lead capture and splash pages that lead people into our primary business. We call that the funnel. I generally sit my primary business in the middle, and then that's the the deep small part of the funnel, and then everything else that is built around that leads people ultimately to that destination. And along the way, people fall off to the left side, they fall off to the right side, they fall by the wayside. That's the sifting and sorting of prospects. So, you can go out on a non-internet situation. You can go out and buy 100 leads, names and phone numbers. You can do all that sifting and sorting yourself. You can call 100 people, and you can decide this one seems active and this one doesn't. Or you can use some internet marketing techniques. You can build a list. You can email. And through what we talked about tonight, different techniques and different activities, decide who's my players and who's kind of my tire kickers. And really, I've always said a good internet networking marketer can take 10 prospects and decide 7 that are not interested, and that's a win because you've gotten those off to the side. I've got 3 people that now are active, engaged, and I'm working with. Okay, the biggest mistake that you can make as a marketer is to go out advertise and sit and wait like this. Sit back and go, did anybody respond? That's one way. You sit and you say, did I get any replies? But you also want to take initiative. And that's about activity and engagement, is going out and finding people too. So any and all ways of attracting interest in people is good, and we call that in this business lead generation that ultimately leads to income. So that's a big long answer to Billy's question, what's this all about? Or I can make it real simple. Trafficleads2incomeVM.com is what this is all about, and everything is laid out. Videos, instructions, everything. Skype group. Then we just add this as a cherry on a sundae. Okay. All right. So Carlos. Oh, let's get some more. Let me get Billy's question off the screen. Let me hit select. And I just learned this. If I do this, do you know that it posts onto the Google channel? Isn't that cool? So people see comments. So questions, please. So I want to hear more or see more questions coming. So please use the Q&A. Carlos, are you out there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I thought you were still talking. Yeah, it's a great call so far tonight. Yeah, I mean, basically, it comes down to building a relationship with your list, and providing useful information, through blogs or through emails, and doing whatever you can to incentivize your list to interact with you. So, I mean, I think you guys did a great job of covering most of that. So that's all I'm going to add. Back to you, Rob.
I'm going to ask you one question, Carlos. So you mentioned incentives and such. What are some of your favorite ones, and what are some that you actually use? If you want, feel free to give some examples when we talk about incentives and incentifying, the readers.
Basically, through my blog, I try to provide training on how to set up different programs. A program that I'm involved with. Also giving benefits, and where I can, I try to like with Traffic Leads to Income, if I can give members for credits for joining, then I'm going to be doing that.
Oh, there you go. I'm back on now. Yeah, oops. Unmute. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay. Yeah, that's good, Carlos. Those are some good, great examples. So I appreciate that. Okay, so no new questions have arisen. We'll just do a little song and dance and wait for. So seriously, the audience, we do need some questions. I'm gonna actually let me step aside here, sort of, kind of, and let me see what you're looking at here. I'm gonna come on to the audience side. I think what you were describing, Ken, that sounded like what we see as the panel on the inside. That chat's only for us guys. That's how we can kind of communicate internally. But if you're sitting on that Google channel, I know if you're on YouTube, but you get a little window that comes up that says join us in the live conversation on Google Plus, and you click on that. If you're actually that makes any sense. Actually loads for me. All right. In the upper right-hand corner, as I'm facing the screen, it says Q&A. So if I click that, I may have just knocked myself off, but be the first to ask a question and it'll appear below. Okay, so this is really whacking out on me now, but I had to go see what everybody is seeing on that. So let me get out of that. So honestly, the key, and I know I'm taking a lot of time on how to ask the questions, but one more time, it's on the screen, Q&A, as you're facing your screen, upper right. Okay, now with all that said, let's see if we have a question. Yes, thank you, Rebecca. Woo, good, okay. All of the ideas presented have been great, but I noticed you haven't mentioned using the Google Hangouts. At what point in learning to build your business should you start attempting a Hangout? Oh, nice. Now that's out of the right here, out of the park. Okay, thank you. That's why we need your questions, because we don't think of everything. Okay, I'm going to take that one, and then see if Nick has thoughts and Carlos. Then, all right. So at what point? Well, I think as soon as you're I hate to say as soon as you're comfortable, because then that's implying that we're waiting, we're getting ready to get ready. Because I've been taught, for years and years, step into your discomfort zone. What that means is, well, I'm a little nervous about, talking in front of people. Then go talk in front of people. That's how you get better at it. Because it's not going to ever change until you do it. So at what point should you have a Hangout? I would say, Rebecca, you should have a Hangout when you have one person that you've signed up that you've made a connection with and talk with them. So that can not necessarily be a Hangout. Maybe that's a Skype chat, a one-on-one Skype chat, like we're going to be having Friday, at 4 in the afternoon or whatnot, wherever we scheduled there. So maybe now I get 2 or 3 in my team. Well, maybe I do a couple of Skype chats. Well, now I'm starting to get 5, 10, 15, 20 people that are engaged. That's where you can have a Skype group. You can do group Skype calls up to I don't know the number, but it's small. Because believe me, I would be having conference calls on Skype if I could, but it doesn't work. So then you say, well, I've got a Skype group and I'm texting with people and I can do individual Skype chats, but what's my next step? Well, it's doing a Hangout, which is a free resource. If you're in GVO, most of their programs gives you a conference room. That's one of the things I like about that. Good. But this is the reason I'm doing this is I like the platform. So this is great. So then you send out to your list, come join me on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, and maybe 5 show up and you have this chat, and it's just between you and them. It can be public to your Google followers. You can share it so it goes out to Twitter and Facebook and everything. And all of a sudden you could have a monster on your hands. You have a YouTube account, so you're linking the two together. All of a sudden you've gone viral because you did something silly, and your kid came from behind and dumped a bucket of water on you, and I wish that would happen so I could go viral, honestly. But it gets crazy sometimes with with starting something small and growing with it. So the answer to your question, I know I gave it a long-winded one, but it really starts with one when you want to start having chats, whether it be phone or Skype, but maybe you start getting 5 or 10, a Hangout would make sense. But you may not know until you actually do your first Hangout how many people will show up. So because you could have right now 1,000 Google followers. So 7 or 3 or 2, and you're going to get comfortable. So when you become a big player and you start having 50, 70, 100, 1,000 people peeking in on you, you're going to be comfortable. So don't feel like it's going to be easy the first time, but nothing in life that's worthwhile is ever easy. So thank you, Rebecca, for that. Nick, what's your thought?
Yeah, I think I've done Google Hangouts. I like to do them as sort of seminars as well, so I can cover specific subjects. And usually when I do that, there's so much you can do with Google Hangouts. I've learned stuff from you, Rob, since we started doing these ones. There's so much you can do with it, and it just takes a little bit of work and practice to find your buttons and find out where you are, and it can be a little tricky at first. But I encourage everybody to experiment with it. Even if you don't invite anybody, go out and do one live just to get the feel of doing a Hangout. But you can prepare slides and show slides on Google Hangout as well. So the possibilities are awesome. It's a free platform. So I think it's a great way to go if you can, and really for me, I was doing them quite regularly, and I stopped doing them, but I do have to get back to doing. I want to do a live one for my own program, because you can do so much in using this platform. Just it's awesome. Thank you. That's all I have to say on that. If you want to come back, I do have something else I wanted to mention that you mentioned earlier, but I'll leave it up to you.
Okay, Nick, if you want to we'll use our little chat thing here, so I'll take a look at that, the little blue bars for us panelists here. So you can put that in chat for me, and I'll take a look. So I agree with what you said, for sure. I'd like to come to one of your Hangouts, Nick, so please invite me the next time you do one. I'll be on your panel and help you out. I enjoy the process for sure. Carlos, have you ever done a Hangout or anything like that, or is this something maybe you're interested in doing someday? Just curious, because you're a good panelist for us here. So curious your thoughts if you've done anything similar, for your teams.
All right. I haven't personally done a Hangout, just because I'm still in the process of building my team. But it's definitely a great tool, and I mean, even if you use it as a one-on-one to answer some, one of your prospects' questions, or, I mean, there's so many different uses for it, and between GVO and even just there's so many free tools that are available on the web for free that you can use to communicate and video chat with your prospects. It's pretty much limitless what you can do. So it's definitely a great tool, and I look forward to being able to use it sometime in the future.
Yeah, I mean, you know how to use it now, Carlos. So yeah, definitely look forward to seeing you. Invite me to your first Hangout for sure. I mean, any of us sitting here on this end, we're trying to explain it to folks that are viewing, but it's pretty much the same. It's just you're the one that's talking. So I invite any of our audience to come on and be a panelist. I don't want this to be. This isn't like you have to, be Dan Moses, and he's a great marketer. Okay, we've talked to John Olson about coming on. He's interested. Tony Tezak, interested. We may be doing those different days, different times, that interview format. But I welcome everybody, to be a panelist. I feel that everybody should either, they're welcome on my panel. We encourage you. I think Rebecca started a huge avalanche of my thought process going on here, and Carlos sort of put a nice spin on it, like saying just one-on-one. So I really encourage my entire viewing audience and everybody who's ever going to hear this to start playing with it and start doing Hangouts and invite me. You can email me at ghcamry@gmail.com and let me know and tell me, when I can either view it or if I'd be honored to be a panelist, with you. So yeah, great tool. Just awesome for sure. And hello, Ricardo. Thanks for joining us. All right, so I'm going to do the wrap now. Unless there's any other questions, I don't see anything more coming. So we continue as long as there's questions. But if there isn't, that's fine. Don't force it. We're good. So my wrap up tonight is take the tools that you've learned. You've learned about you've learned about transferring credits. You've learned about blogging. You've learned about keeping your emails concise. You've learned about after you do your blog article to link it in your short from the heart email. You've learned about all of that. You've learned about potentially in an email or in another communication inviting your list, your team, your downline to come to your Hangout where you can interact with them. And it's we call it train the trainer, coach to coach. There's different terminology for this, but the best leaders were once great followers, if you know what I mean. So you come and listen to me, and you take the ideas and you implement it, and it goes on and on and on. So if we happen to be working on, no example, so I'll say I'm working with 10 people on XYZ program. So they all come on as viewers and view, and they're asking me questions. And then I, the next week, invite all 10 of those to come on and be panelists. And I teach them how to put this little title on their screen that says, like mine says, Rob Gearing, Traffic Does Lead to Income. And I teach them, you know, how to operate the Hangout here and give them some pointers and stuff like that. And as they're being taught other things, they're getting leads, they're, you know, building a downline, they're getting signups, and then they're doing the same, and it's just going on and on and on. This is duplicatable marketing at its finest, and people say that it's impossible. I say that it's not. It's not if done correctly, and you know, sticking with it and being, you know, patient and persistent, because we learned, you know, we learned a little bit about that tonight as well. So that's some learnings. That's my wrap. When will Rob shave is Billy's burning question. So we're going to get to that now. I don't know, Billy. So what I'm thinking of is, because usually when I'm on vacation, I do every now and again go on vacation, what I generally do is change my facial hair. So what I'm thinking this time is I'm going to maybe do a thin beard up like this way. I don't know how thin yet. I'm not so sure, but keep everything else. So that's where my facial hair. That's my facial hair update for this evening. Thank you for asking, Billy. All right, Nick. Let me give you your wrap, and then we'll get a final word from Carlos. And if there isn't any other questions, we're going to be out of here.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to go back to something that you mentioned earlier, Rob, about using your own material, or trying, when you're writing your emails, write your own emails, because something happened tonight. I was looking at my emails, and just the way it happened, 3 emails with exactly the same title, and when I opened them, they all said exactly the same thing. So all they'd done is taken a swipe copy and just put it in an email and sent it to me, and my thought was, they haven't done very much to get my attention, because they all did the same thing. And these are people that are fairly well known in the industry, and I was kind of surprised by that. But as much as you can, even if you take the swipe copy and change it just to suit you, you don't have to change everything, but change something to give it a little bit of your flavor to it. And if you practice doing that, soon you'll be able to do your own copy real easy. Other than that, it's been great. I've actually taken notes and learned a lot myself tonight, so that's great. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Nick. Very good. Thank you. Okay, Carlos, let's hear from you. Your wrap up.
All right. I mean, I think it was a great call tonight. Definitely gave you know, some great pointers on where to go, and definitely, I mean, if you can write your own content, it's definitely better, because it'll be picked up as unique by Google in particular. So, you know, and it'll make you stand out out of everyone else. So definitely, you know, follow the trainings in Traffic Leads to Income, and you're headed in the right direction.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. And I don't think I even really covered the 7 steps tonight, so shame on me. But you know, they're really, you know, sometimes the topics maybe not going to take us there, but we'll think about what we want to talk about next week too. So panel, get with me what your thoughts are. And I just want to thank my panel. I'd like to thank the folks that watched us live, and anybody that is watching us. I appreciate that. That means a lot to us and to me personally, that you take the time to listen to what we have to say, to what I have to say. And if it helps, that's great, because that's why we do what we do. Some people have different styles of marketing and different ways they lead. I like to feel like, you know, at the end of the day, if I've given somebody a tip or given back, because I've been helped and supported, you know, that's a feel good for me. So thank you. Have a great marketing week, everybody. We'll see you back here, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, for our next Sunday night hangout. This is now going to go over to YouTube, so it's going to be out there. So share it, get it out there. Help me get some traffic to my YouTube channel, please. All those little niceties help. So thank you very much, and have an awesome marketing week. I'm not sure if we're still live, Nick, because it just says stop and I don't.
Are we still live or?
Yeah, it just says